this will be a video explaining first how to vent in Mira HQ, then how to vent in the Skeld, and then since Polus isn't that different from the Skeld, I'll be teaching you what the vents are in Polus. Yeah, they're all unique. Now, first I'll be showing you where the vents go. So, which may be easier to understand than my other method. So from balcony, you can go to this hallway. If we look at it on the map, from this hallway we can go to admin, and then admin goes to both office and greenhouse goes back to office, and then office can go to laboratory. Laboratory goes to reactor. Oh, and you press these, I probably should have said this earlier, but you press these arrow buttons to vent around. So, reactor, laboratory, decontamination, reactor, laboratory, decontamination. Those all go in a loop. And then you can go to locker room from decontamination. You can go to the launch pad from locker room, and you can go to reactor from launch pad. And and then once again back to locker room. Locker room can go to medical bay, as I like to call it. Medical bay brings you back to balcony. And now I'll show a different method. Oh, never mind, I was doing that wrong. A different method. So we start here, in the balcony, which goes to this hallway, as you saw. Then we go back to admin. Goes to greenhouse, office, goes back to admin. And then this place goes to laboratory, which goes to reactor, goes to decontamination, which goes back to laboratory. And then reactor can go back to launch pad. And then that goes to locker room, and locker room also goes back to decontamination. Locker room also goes back to med bay, goes back to the balcony. Now you know that. Now I'll show you something that shows where each vent is specifically. Each of the red dots is a vent. It's a vent in balcony. The vent in the hall. The vent in admin. The vent in greenhouse. The vent in office, which I think is somewhere over here. The vent in the laboratory. Vent in reactor. The vent in the launch pad. Locker room. Med bay. Now, you know that? I'll be going to the Skeld. Open the map and this. So there's a vent in cafeteria right here. There's a vent in weapons right here. There's a vent in navigation right here, and one right here. And there's one in shields, I think, right here. And then there aren't any oh, cafeteria goes to. And then there's one here. There's and then there aren't any vents for a while, and then you get to electrical, which goes to medbay and security. So that's a kind of loop. And there's a lower vent and reactor, and which goes to the lower engine, and the upper vent and reactor, which goes to the upper engine. And there's that part. I'll show you a different method. Which is, oh yeah, that's it. Which I'll show you a little, let's change this to red and make it a little larger. So, there's the one in cafeteria, you know that. And it goes to O2 and admin. which goes back to cafeteria. So that's a loop. I call it a Skeld loop. I'll refer to that in other parts of the video. And then there's one in weapons that goes all the way to navigation. And there's another one in navigation that goes to shields. And then there aren't any vents for a while. And then there's one in electrical that goes to medical bay, security, back to electrical. And then there's one in the lower engine that goes to the lower venting reactor, and the upper venting reactor goes to the upper engine. And now that's the show part of this video done. So now I'll show you some actual gameplay. So this is, you've already seen this, but it goes from, oh, it doesn't go to O2. Okay, I was wrong. It didn't go to O2. It goes to this little hallway. So this vent goes to a hallway, which we can see on the map. It's right there. And this hallway goes to admin. You can see on the map it's right here. And then the admin goes back to cafeteria, which is pretty useful. And then from weapons, we go to navigation. From navigation, we go to shields. And then there aren't any vents for a while, so we've cleared off most of the, so we've actually cleared off most of the, stuff. We've cleared off half the map. And now in electrical, we have another Skeld loop, as I like to call it. Where we can go from here. Maybe he was about to do a scan. Can't be too careful these days. So security, med bay, security, med bay, electrical, you know the drill. And then here's reactor, which will go to lower engine. And there's another vent in here. It goes to upper engine. And I think that's the Skeld just about done. Now, I'll show you what the vents look like on Polus, because it's really the same layout. I swear the report button just flashed, but it's the same layout as in, it's essentially the same layout scheme as in the Skeld, because it just goes in loops. But except, rather than being vents, there's holes. So I think it should replace the vent button on Polus with hole. But that's just my opinion. Bye, video's over. Wow, is this a 10-minute video?